Hi, everybody. How is everyone tonight? Thanks for joining. If this is the first time that you're joining, I am Michelle Solis. From This Must Be Ink. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Seekonk, Massachusetts. So I have been an independent demonstrator for going on 6 years, and I love making cards, and hopefully you will love to see the one that I am making tonight. So it's called, I think, a bookbinding gatefold. So hopefully we can pull this off tonight. I am going to be using some new products that will be available in May. This is an online exclusive that will be available in May. So welcome to my Stamp and Sip workshop, where the weekend starts early. Everybody hopefully brought something to sip on. I just have water tonight. But take a sip and we will get started. All right, so I'm going to move the camera around. I can't tell what it's doing. I can't tell what it's doing. All right, so we're going to just flip it around. There we go. Oh, look at that. Almost perfect. Look at that. All right, so this is the one that I showed you for a sample. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining. And this is a bookbinding gatefold. So it opens like this. And as you can see, this part is adhered like a bookbinding card would be. And then this piece is cut in half. And so it opens like that, like a gatefold. This one was created with I think it's called Beach Boardwalk paper and bundle with the little Ferris wheel. And then I had some palm trees that I stamped inside, just really light inside with the happy birthday sentiment. So the idea for this card came from this birthday card that I received. I thought this was really cute from Chris Chapman, and I loved it. So I said, oh, I hadn't made this fold before, so let's try and figure it out. So I deconstructed the card. I have since glued it back together. But I deconstructed it to get the measurements, and I'm going to show you how to make that one tonight. All right, so that's the sample. And then this is the one that we're going to be doing tonight. Let me figure out where to put these. We're going to work with the Winnie the Pooh set, which is my new favorite thing. Oh, going the wrong way. This is my new favorite. Just the most adorable thing ever. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the Pooh bundle. As I said, this is online exclusive that's coming in May. It's called Sweet Old Friends. That's the stamp set. It has some honey pots. Here's Owl and Pooh, Eeyore, and Kanga. Oh, there's no Roo. So there's Kanga, but my friend Betsy is right. There's no Roo. Pooh and Piglet and Rabbit, and Pooh with a little honey pot. Another honey pot, some bees, Tigger, and then here's Piglet with a little dandelion, and you have some little flying dandelion things there. So that's really adorable. And it has coordinating dies that will cut out all your stamping. And then it also cuts out this little honeycomb thing here. It's got a little honey pot with some honey. I have not used any of those dies yet. So this is still brand new to me. I've just been cutting up the paper and stamping some of the characters and just loving it. All right, so this is the coordinating sweet words and labels that coordinate with the Sweet Old Friends. This is a suite of product. So this has these two stamps that will stamp a little border around your sentiment. And then it's got these sentiments. The best kind of days are days spent together. Oh, bother. Sometimes when you go looking for happiness, happiness finds you. It never hurts to keep looking up. Old friends are the best friends. I will love you until forever and even after that. And you deserve a little treat, which I think is really cute because you could do it with some of the honey accessories, and I think that would be really cute. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Anne. Thanks for joining. So let me show you the dies that go with this set, the sweet words and labels. These are some amazing dies. So you've got all of these dies that will cut out these sentiments, and they just are so detailed around the edging. Super pretty little dies that you're going to be able to use for any card and any sentiment. So that's only half of them. You get these as well. And I just think these are gorgeous. This is almost a full card front. So pretty. And then, of course, you get the little leaves. You can see one here, and then some acorns, and you get another leaf, another couple of leaves, and some larger acorns. So there are quite a few dies in this set, 18 total in this set that coordinates with the sweet words and labels. And of course I had to buy this to coordinate with the poo, but those labels I think I will just keep forever. These are going to be gorgeous with any little, with any sentiment, because there's so many sizes. Okay, so that's the stamp sets and the dies, and then the paper. I don't know if you guys have seen the paper, but it's amazing. So let me show you. There's a couple of pages that have, of course, all the poo. Hi, Julie. All the poo characters and some little scenes that you could fussy cut out. Not all of these are going to die cut, but you could certainly fussy cut them, or you could use one of the 18 label dies to cut out those little scenes. And the other side of that is a beautiful pink plaid. So for baby cards, that would be gorgeous. And then you've got this. Oh, that's the same one. One moment. Oh, they had these in order to show you. Then you've got this one that I love. This is like a whole card front right here with just a little scene. And you could put a little stamped character in there or a fussy cut character in there, or just leave it exactly like it is with a sentiment. But some beautiful scenes. Look at this one with Pooh and all his honey jars. I don't know how he got them up there. And this one I have used on a card already with all the little characters eating the table. And the other side of that is this beautiful paper with the silhouettes of everybody just walking in a row. How cute is that? Another really cute one for a baby card. All right, let's see. And there's this one with all the characters. Just really cute. And the other side is a sky, really pretty sky with clouds. All right, what else we got? We've got this one. This is the page that I cut for this card. And this you can cut out with 2 of the dies that come with the set. This coordinates with this. And then there's a die that cuts out this shape as well. So all of these can be fussy cut from this paper, or die cut from this paper. And the other side of that paper is this stripe. which I think is Peaceful Pine and Black Stripe. Then we've got this one, which is just a bunch of trees. But look at Pooh climbing the tree. Adorable. And then the other side of this is the 100-acre wood, a little map of the 100-acre wood. Here's Eeyore's gloomy place. How cute is that? In Kanga's house. So that's adorable. All right, let's see. Did I forget one? Oh, this one. And this one is with all the critters as well. So all the little characters you can cut out. And then that one has this print, which is what we're using tonight with the, I think this is Golden Glow. Didn't turn my light on. Maybe you can see it a little better. The Golden Glow. And I think this is black in there. All right, so that should be all of the paper, but it is so gorgeous. The artwork is just so pretty. Okay. All right, so back to business. Let's figure out how to make this card. I can't get my paper back in there. Okay. All right. So what you're going to need tonight to make this card, you're going to need a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Cynthia. So 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock for the card base. Okay. So tonight I'm using Golden Glow, which is one of the new in colors. Then you're going to need the insert here, which is 4 by 4. And this paper coordinates with very vanilla. So this is a very vanilla 4 by 4. Then you're going to need your 2 panels for the front. And those are going to measure 1 7/8 by 4. And you'll need 2 of those. And then this panel at the end is 1 inch by 4. So tonight I'm just using a piece of black to coordinate with my paper. And then this, as I said, I die cut this out of the paper, but tonight we're going to stamp a sentiment label, and then stamp some characters and color them. I say that like I know what I'm doing, but this will be the first time that I'm stamping and coloring these guys. So we'll see how that turns out. All right. First of all, let's make the card base. So we've got 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to need our arm. Okay, and we're going to score first at 2 1/8. And then we're going down to 7 5/8. And then we're going down to 8 7/8. Sorry about the 8s, but that's the way it works out. All right, then you're just going to burnish your folds. So the 2 folds that are toward you've got 1 big panel on this side, 1 big panel, and a little panel on this side. So the side with the big panel, you're going to score that mountain fold so it folds in. And then on the other side, the closest score line, you'll do mountain fold as well to go in. That's going to create that gatefold. And then this panel is going to fold out. Okay, so you get that gatefold action here. All right, then this panel that you've created here in between the main panel and the end, this panel is where you're going to place adhesive. So we'll get some glue. And if you're a ribbon person and you like to add ribbons to your book binding or book fold cards, you would put your ribbon in here before you put your glue. But I am not doing ribbon tonight. I've got enough going on. All right, so we're going to glue that together. And that's going to create that book binding section. And now you've got your card base. So all you have to do is decorate. Very, very simple. All right, so let's get our panels on. We're going to do the 2 front panels first. And this is another pack of paper that I'm going to have to buy multiples of because it just breaks my heart to cut it up and use the other side. All right, so we get that one on. Let's get the second one on. And you want to just line this up so that it's even with the other panel and straight. Okay, and then on this last part, if you were doing ribbon, you could tie a bow here. I'm just going to do a little black panel here. So I was considering embossing, but I just ran out of time. So just do it plain tonight. And you could also put a ribbon around the outside here, as opposed to going through the middle. All right, so there you go. You've got your card. Then we just need our insert. So I've got my 4 inches by 4 inch insert. I didn't pull out a little stamp for that. So let's do this little poo. I love that little poo. Let's grab him. There's 2 poos here and I always get confused. That's this one. All right. I need a block for him. I'm going to just, I don't want to do him too dark. So let me think for a second. Let's do him in the honey color, the golden glow. So these are my new stamp pads. You ready? Look at that. Did I put the thing on, put the label on the wrong end up there, but that's okay. So these are magnetic. And when you open them, they literally open like a book and they stick together this way. Or you can put the top underneath, which is kind of nice. All right, so this is the first time I am, oh, that looks very juicy, this pad. And I don't want them to be too dark, so I'm going to stamp off and then stamp my insert with the little bear. So cute. All right, so then we're going to just put the top back on there. So far, so good with the new ink. I was really actually worried about it and nervous about it. We're going to see how it works for the rest of the evening here. Let's see. All right, so then we're going to just put this in the middle. Okay, so you've got your card. Now we've just got to create our focal point. So for that, I am going to use that stamp that I showed you that's going to make this design that we can cut out with our die. And I'm going to stamp that in black. So I've got Memento Black here. Just make sure I get a good image there. Look how adorable that is. All right, and then we're going to die cut that with this die that fits it perfectly. Look at that. All right, let me get a little piece of tape so this doesn't move on me. So we're just going to line it up. Easier said than done when people are watching you. Okay. Line that up. We're going to run that through the machine real fast. Be right back. Okay. So that gives us this really cute little sentiment label for the front of the card. Okay, so then I wanted to stamp Pooh and Piglet over here, and I want to stamp the sentiment. So we're going to do that in Memento as well. Yeah. I could regret not doing this in StazOn, but we're going to see what happens. Okay, we're going to do Pooh and Piglet. And then we're going to do our sentiment. And hopefully that's going to fit in there. Yay! Okay. All right, so now coloring Pooh and Piglet. This is my challenge for myself tonight. So my thought was to use my blending brushes, not blending brushes, blending pen, and do Pooh the color he's supposed to be, which is this golden glow. So I'm going to pick up some ink on my block, and then I'm going to try to color him with that ink, which is going to be dark. Well, you might have some little dark areas here. So typically I would do this with some watercoloring, but I didn't want to use watercolor paper. I wanted to use vanilla. So we're going to just make this work. I think that honestly, the way it's going to come out, it's going to look kind of old-fashioned-y and kind of rugged, which I think is not actually a bad thing for this set. I don't know. We'll see. I'll hold it up close when I get done, and you guys can see what you think. So I decided to start with the dark color, because when you hit it with the blending right from the block, it's a little darker. So if I start on these areas here, that should be shaded. I think it works a little better. Now, if Betsy was watching, she'd tell me what I should be doing. My artsy friend. Because it's not quite as liquidy as I want it to be, but it's not too bad. All right, what do you guys think? It's not bad, actually. It looks like a scruffy old bear. Hi, Carol. Thanks for popping on. Okay, so that's Pooh, and now I'm going to put that away. And this is Barely Blush. And we're going to get some of that on our block. It's barely blush. It's barely there. You can barely see it. All right, so let me pick up some of that color and see if we can do Piglet. It's barely a color. That's a little pinky. But it's even hard to see where the color is on my block because it's so light. All right, let me get a little bit more. You have to do his little feet. What color is Piglet's shirt? Or his little outfit here? I don't know. Can it be any color? Does he have different colors? All right, so there's the pink actually looks a little better, but I wonder if it's because it's a smaller area that I'm doing. But I actually think that came out really cute with the scruffiness of the bear there. All right, so then let me grab a color for his little shirt here. Maybe it should just be a darker pink. Flirty Flamingo? Maybe some Flirty Flamingo. Let's see. We'll get that Barely Blush off and we'll pick up some Flirty Flamingo. Well, whatever color it is, it's really adorable. I guess you could change up the colors depending on the season and depending on, like, if it was Christmas, you could make it any color. All right, there we go. There's Pooh and Piglet. Just adorable. I just want to keep making more and more cards. All right, so that's going to go on the front of our card. Just like that. And when you're adding this to the front of the card, make sure that you're only putting the glue on the right-hand side of your sentiment. Or if you're going to put dimensionals, do that on the right-hand side. We'll just get glue on this area. Over there. Flip that around. Line that up. Okay, so we are all done. We just need a little bit of bling, which I think I forgot to get out here. Let's see what we've got. I think I did get some in color dots. So we will use the in color dots if we can open them. Why is the package so small? Okay. And we've got the golden glow here. So cute. All right, there we go. So let's go back to the first one. Here's the sample that I made. And then here's the one from tonight. Here's the other poo one that I did. This was with a Secret C card base. Same paper there. And then, of course, I did one with some flowers. Oh gosh, I already forgot the name of this paper. Hang on. I've got it right here. Lovely and Beautiful. This is the Lovely and Beautiful paper. And then I just fussy cut some little flowers out of there for the front and used the Spotlight, one of the Spotlight on Nature dies for that. And then I stamped a flower inside on that one. And then the last one I did, of course, the little bugs. Cute as a bug with the little caterpillar on the front. And I used the postage dies to create that sentiment label. And then we've got some little bugs inside as well with the little strawberry. All right. So that's it for me tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that fun fold. It's super simple to make, and then you just get to play and decorate it. All right, so let's flip this back down over there. There we go. Get rid of the camera. All right, so that's it for me tonight, guys. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget tonight, it's the 17th, so it's the last night of the 2 times rewards for Stampin' Up. If you're a Stampin' Up customer and you're purchasing anything by, I guess, midnight tonight, you're going to get twice the rewards. So you get 10% back in rewards for the amount that you spend to use on a future purchase. And now you're going to get twice those rewards. So now's the time to buy if you are thinking about placing an order. Tonight would be the night. I'm doing that as soon as I hang up. 3 guesses what I'm getting. Yes, I'm going to get some more Winnie the Pooh paper because I'll be so sad when it's gone. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next week. Stay crafty, my friends.